Hickok 45 here. You know, a lot of people think a 9mm provides a pretty good protective shield. Well, 45 ain't bad either.
In honor of Kentucky, blue.
Nice. Oh, we have some more ammo. Yeah, we have a couple more. Let's go over there on the hill, the muddy hill. All right, I'm going home. Hit the red plate on the first shot. Last time I'll probably hit it. Thought that had it. We'll go for the gong when we get back. I'll try for something bigger. Actually, I've been hitting the red plate pretty, I don't say regularly, but you know, more often than that. Anyway, yeah, we've got the 45 caliber Shield here. It's relatively new. I think it was introduced more or less at the NRA meeting in, well, in Louisville here, was that April, May? So we're happy to have our hands on one. We got, and I think these are not exactly plentiful right now, but they had a couple and I got my hands on it. So we'll try it out and see what we think about it. It's a little bigger than the standard Shield. I've got the 9 out here just so you can kind of compare the looks. While I'm loading this magazine, I'll let you notice a couple of things. There's a new texture. Of course, I got Talon grips on those, but on this new one, it's got a more textured grip on it, which actually is pretty nice. And you'll notice some serrations at the front of the slide. They added a little bit of serration activity up there that the 9mm does not have. What else? It's a little thicker. The slide is a little bit thicker than the 9mm. Consequently, it's a little heavier. I bet you could have figured that one out, couldn't you? And I weighed them, and I get 2 ounces heavier on the 45. Okay, 2 ounces, and that's because of the thicker slide, and also it's a little bit longer. I think it's 0.2. Let's see, yeah, 0.2 inches. So not much longer, but just a little bit. And I'll show you here in a second so you'll believe me. How's that? Magazine's so stiff because it's new. And that's, I guess, the biggest difference right there. A little heavier, a little longer. Okay, hold 6. I'll stick them up here together. I'll put that magazine in so you can see give you an idea where it fits size-wise. You notice it's a little longer in the grip than the 9. The 9 is on the right there, on my right here. So a little bit longer grip. I've got the XDS out here. Let me show you this size-wise too. This is the XDS 45s from Springfield, so you can get an idea on size there while I'm doing that. Okay, so it's about the same length on the grip as the 9 and the M&P Shield. All right, and we may look at that again, compare that. Length of slide, you can see, if you caught that already, you can see it's a little bit longer, not much, 0.2 inches, which is not much. All right, and 2 ounces heavier. All right, still got your 3-dot system and all the same features. Both of these, I started to say mine, now this one is mine. This one, of course, is borrowed. They both have the thumb safety, okay, and they come. Yeah, I think the 9 comes either way as well, but you can get it with the safety or without the safety. All right, so these just happen to have the safety. I just typically don't use them, so I don't think much about it one way or the other, but it does have the thumb safety. All right, so we're loaded back up here, or we're not loaded, but we're going to be. Yeah, we are. We got the magazine loaded, so let's just take a couple more shots. Has a nice trigger, I'll have to say. The first shot I took when I tried to hit the red plate, I was surprised that I hit it, and I attributed that to the trigger largely. See if I remember where to hold. Let me try the red plate again. I don't like to miss it that many times in a row. There we go. I needed to hold it up just a hair more. That was it. Let me try the gong. I think I got him once or twice there. I heard him even above the motorcycle. A nice sound. I'm gonna hit that red plate again. Oh, I see him hitting close by. Takes a lot of discipline to hit that thing with a little pistol. And then again, some days I can hit better on more precision shooting than others. But the thing has a pretty good trigger, I'll have to say. And it also has a good reset. It's very acceptable, for sure. Comes out, not that far, click, okay. Not too bad. I think the trigger on this is better maybe than on my 9. They're both good. This one's a little less gritty, but they're both good. All right. Shield is a very popular pistol, one of the most popular single stacks out there. It could be the most popular single stack pistol on the market in terms of sales numbers. I don't know. I know it's extremely well liked, and it's obvious why. Because when you're talking about the 9, it comes down to me as a choice between it and the Glock 43, I think, as my top 2 favorites. And at 45, I'm not sure where it fits yet. It's a little bigger. Even the regular Shield is not what I consider much of a pocket gun. It's a little heavy, a little big. You might get it to work. This one is longer, as you saw, and it's heavier, a little bit longer in the slide and in the grip, and a little thicker. I think I got 22. I read a couple different places. People were saying it was 20 ounces. Not on my scale. It was like 22.5 ounces with the empty mag in it. But yeah, not a pocket gun for sure. So it's a belt gun, which puts it in competition with other belt guns, really. And it's not really to me a competitor for the like little LC9s or the little cars, the PM9s or Glock 40, any of those, no matter what caliber it is. So it's a belt gun. So some of the guns that you tell me what would be the competition. One of the car makes a gun about this size, don't they? Like a CW45 or some P. Do they have a PM45? I think they have. I've seen them. I've never had one or fired it, but they have a firearm about this size in 45. So it would compete with that. I read somewhere somebody thought it was competition for the Glock 36, and I guess it's about the same size as that, single stack 45. I've not ever owned a Glock 36, believe it or not, but yeah, I believe that would be another gun in the same category. So it's a belt gun. So it's big old 45, and it needed to be a little bit thicker in order to accommodate that bigger cartridge. I'll take it apart real quick. There's no big mysteries about it. If you've seen a Shield, you've seen it, what they look like. This one just has a barrel with a larger hole in it. It's kind of funny how if you're going to shoot a 45, you need a bigger chamber, don't you? See, one that it will fit into. I figured that out a long time ago. So we also appreciate Federal furnishing those big slugs. Federal Premium, thanks a bunch. We go through a lot of 45 and 9 and 40 and everything. So we're putting back together here. Put the back up. There we go. All right, let's load up and shoot it again. Sells for about $480 MSRP, which means you can get it for less than that. I'm not sure what you'd end up paying, but something over 400, between 400 and 480 probably. And that's the price range. Again, one of the competitors is the XDS from Springfield. Let's talk about it a little bit as I'm loading, because it's a single stack 45 in kind of the same category. What are the differences? Well, you know, it's a shorter gun, the grip wise, well, and slide wise. Stand him up there while I'm yakking, loading. So it's a little shorter, and the grip is shorter. Again, it's closer to the size of the 9mm Shield in that sense, and you get one less round for that reason. So you can't cheat physics, as I always say. You know, this one holds one more round. Well, actually, it holds one more round even in the flush magazine. Let's put the flush magazine in. All right, there you go. So there's a reason it holds one more round. It's longer, right? So again, you can't cheat physics. We all want that ideal carry gun that's about the size of the PM9 or something, or LCP, chambered in 45 and holds 23 rounds. You know, it just doesn't exist. If you're going to have more rounds in the firearm, you need a bigger firearm, and the way it goes. And so that's kind of size-wise and everything, what you're looking at. And these guns are pretty popular. We know you got the grip safety on the XDS. You know, you've got a little bit different feel, not a lot different. Feels a little better to me. The grip is so thin on a Shield. I like the Shield, but the grip feels so thin to me. It feels too thin. But you know, that's probably my large hands speaking again. Price-wise, the Shield's a pretty good buy, because you can probably get one for whatever, $4.25, something like that. I don't know. $4.50 probably is what you would see them. I don't know, at the shop. Whereas the XDS has traditionally been a little more expensive, up there closer to the $600 range. However, I noticed that Springfield was offering this as an essentials package. You probably already knew that. I just learned that not long ago. But you can get that with the big suitcase and all the holsters and, you know, and all the gear that they offer. You know, the big Springfield gun case, I'll call it a suitcase. You got all that gear with it, ready to go, and that's one reason they have been expensive. And you can still get them in that package, I think. But they have the essentials package now, which just involves kind of a normal gun box, it looks like, with just the get ready essentials, and it's more in line with the price of the Shield. So I don't think there's much difference there. I'm pretty sure. But now, if you want that big package and get the holster and all that stuff, you're talking about $100, you know, difference between the two. All right, so the price can be different quite a bit, or it can be roughly the same, I believe. All right, so a couple of nice choices, no doubt about it. The single stack fever has caught on, and we're getting more and more fire. You know what I should? Well, okay, remind me, load those hollow points. Try those out. All right, let's take a couple of, we got a paper target here. Okay, we'll put this in the box as we do with these e-gunner pistols, rifle, whatever. Oh, right in the middle, right low left. I shoot at the cap. I hit the cap finally. All right. You know what? I see a big opportunity here for some major pot smoking. That is a big pot, no doubt about it. That was. We got a couple of 2 liters here. Let's bear down. Oh, that's what I was trying to do. I bet you didn't know that. I was trying to just barely touch the plastic with the bullet. Enough not to penetrate it, but to, move it. Ah, pretty good shot, huh? Okay, hollow points. You didn't remind me, but I'm putting them in. Okay. We'll see how it feeds. Oh, let me tell you, I was trying these out. I've been shooting for a couple, 3 days here off and on. And I did put some hollow points in it. They were, I don't know if they were these. They were some of the Federals that I have. Some variation of the HydroShock. And I did have some hang-ups. Okay, I keep trying to put 7 in a 6-round magazine. And I didn't want to feed a couple of times. I don't know. It was really early on. And, but I have fired a couple or 3 mags at least of hollow points since then. And I haven't had that, so we'll see. We'll do a couple of mags here. Very important that it feeds hollow points probably. Most of you will carry hollow points. If you carry this magazine, this 7-rounder, is a little contrary. It's working all right. There we go. A little stiff. See if I can keep from trying to put more rounds than it holds in it. All right, so we got hollow points. We've got some 230 grain HydroShock, okay, jacketed hollow point personal defense rounds. All right, and they're not too wide open. Any firearm for self-defense ought to feed those. Okay, I think. So let's try them, especially after it's dirty. Here, good test. All right. Let's try that 2-liter. Took a lot of hollow point. Oh, a bowling pin's hiding right there. Yeah, roll him off. A 12-ouncer. Yeah. All right, fed those okay. All right. Not a bad little shooter. Not bad, pretty controllable. Even in 45. Why don't we do just a little test? I know you're dying. We'll use hollow points in both of them. We'll get the XDS here. I'm going to shoot a magazine through it and a magazine through the Shield, just to give you my impressions of felt, recoil, that sort of thing. There's 5. I'll just put 5 in this one, so I'll get the same feel. Exactly. Which is oh yeah, that's the extended mag. Okay. 3, 4. All right, didn't know I could count that high, did you? All right, I'll do the usual. It's hot. Point them down range. This one's going to be hot, so I can have the least amount of lag time between the two. All right. So I'm going to just shoot. I'm going to put them on the coffin probably. Well, I put a couple on the coffin, and I'm mainly going for felt recoil. Well, maybe I'll go for those 3 targets that are together. Okay, so I have to use my sights and everything. All right, we'll start with the Cowboy and then get those 3. That's got 5 shots. All right, Mr. Cowboy. All right, the other one. Oh man, I don't know. You know what I was doing? I was focusing on hitting so much. On that run, let me just try a couple more. I'm sorry, I'm kind of stupid. I needed a little bit again. Let's see, that's for this gun. I think the XDS jumped a little more. All right. Let me just think about recoil this time. I was kind of focused on my sight picture and hitting those targets and everything. I'm just going to go on the coffin here, a couple of shots with each one. Recoil. Controllability. Okay, there's really not much difference to me. Not much difference. I can't tell enough difference to write home about. That time it almost seemed like the shield jumped a little more in my hand, but there's just not a lot of difference. Okay, so and they both do jump. If you're one of those persons who, when you shoot a 40 or a 45 and you put it down, that's kind of jumpy. You know, I don't like that. Or snappy is the word we hear a lot. That's too snappy for you. They're pretty snappy. Lots of times a 45 is not that snappy because it's a heavier bullet, usually a heavier firearm, and you folks that shoot a lot know what I'm talking about. A big old 45, sometimes it's just really pleasant to shoot, even though it's a pretty powerful cartridge. But in these little guns, you have polymer, and they're not all that heavy. 45 is a little snappy, but now they're not that bad to hold on target either. But just be aware of that. I would shoot one before you get excited. A lot of people think they're not armed unless they've got a 45. There are people still around like that. They haven't read the ballistics research, and they still think you've got to have 45. And there's nothing wrong with a 45. As we all know, if someone gets hit in the little finger, they're going to go down, right? You've heard those stories forever. But if you've got a firearm, what I'm getting at here, that is really snappy, causes you to flinch, and you're not going to shoot it well because it's a 45, then you would be better armed with a 9mm. Got it? Okay, and that's entirely possible, maybe even likely, that you would be better armed, and maybe me, I'm not picking on you, we're better armed with a firearm that we shoot well. That's not going to cause us to flinch and it starts jumping all over the place on us. We don't have a lot of experience shooting maybe. So you could very well be much better armed and prepared and protected and shielded by a 9mm than a 45. Okay, it comes down to what you shoot well. So I would really rent one of these at the range. Try to get somebody to let you shoot theirs. We'll shoot one more time, can I? Okay, before we start. So anyway, my little speech on the 45. Nothing wrong with a 45. I love them. Kind of took my name after that, didn't I? And they're generally not that bad to fire, but this thing does jump a little bit. 45. You're shooting a 45. But as long as you can hold it on target, that's the main thing. And you shoot it enough to be comfortable with it. You know what it's going to do. You know what it's going to feel like, and all that. Okay. And again, as I was getting into earlier, it is a belt pistol. It's a good sized little pistol, and you wouldn't want it too small shooting a 45. Okay. And one reason I forgot I have the Glock 19 out. That's just for reference. It's just, me, I have to have a Glock out here just to upset the Glock haters. But let's put the flush magazine in, just give you an idea size-wise. Everybody knows what a Glock 19 looks like and what size it is. Okay, so the grip is almost the same as a Glock 19 in terms of length, and it's a little bit shorter than a 19. All right, so it gives you an idea how big it is. Okay. A little side-by-side look there. So not a lot smaller than a Glock 19. All right, a Glock 30 I think is about the same size as that too. So if you had a Glock 30, although they're thicker, unless you get the 30S, which is thinner. I should have brought that out maybe. With the Glock 30S, you'd have a firearm that might be about the same weight slide-wise, but you'd have a bigger, thicker grip. More like a Glock 19 if you're not familiar with that. All right, so take a couple more shots. I still feel bad that the red plate has made me look bad today. So I'm going to take a couple more shots at him. Okay. It's got a nice trigger, or I wouldn't even be trying it. Okay. Okay, I think most of the time I'm going under it, maybe not. You can probably see in the video. All right, let's just empty this one. All right, put him in the holster. Whew. Bad guys are after me. I've got to take them out. Click. Slide didn't stay back. Either that or I released it. Okay, I might have released it. So, yeah, a good little shooter. It's a little snappy, but a nice gun. The Shield is one of the most successful little pistols out there, and this one has worked. The only, again, hang-ups we've had were with the one day, a couple of hollow points didn't want to. Actually, they weren't hanging up on the ramp. What was happening was, it happened twice with that one magazine, is the slide locked back. It just locked back after about 2 or 3 shots, and it was still a round or two in the magazine. So the slide locked back. They weren't really hanging up, come to think of it. And I don't know, let's see, what would cause that? If maybe I guess I could have hit the slide lock with my thumb, since it wasn't something that was just happening over and over and over again, and I haven't been able to duplicate since. So I don't know, I'll chalk it up to that perhaps, unless I find out differently. But yeah, that's what it was doing. It was locked. The slide was back totally, and it just locked back, and still ammo in the magazine. So, and that's a situation I would rather have than have a round hanging up on the ramp, because there's something usually a little more definable, I think, when something like that's happening. Don't know. If you're a gunsmith, you might know more than I do. If you're a gunsmith, you know a lot more than I do. Even if you're not a gunsmith, you probably know a lot more than I do. But the Shield is a pretty cool little gun. They're not all that exorbitantly expensive, and they have hit the world by storm. Now they're available in 40, 9mm, and 45. And I think I pointed out the differences. It has a nice trigger break. You feel like you have a target gun in your hand. And your serrations, your grip texture, and then the thickness and length are mainly the differences. So, so if you want a 45 and you like the Shield, you'd like this pistol, I think. Life is good. Oh, well, since I'm still here, let me take this moment to thank SDI, the Sonoran Desert Institute, for their support of the channel. We appreciate, their help. SDI is a place where you can get certified in gunsmithing. You can even get an associate's degree in firearms technology and work in various areas of the firearms field. Might be appealing to you. They work a lot with veterans, and just a pretty cool place. So check out the link, sdi.edu. The link is in the description of most videos, almost all videos for the last 6 months or more. So so check that out. Also, while I have you, since I'm still here, be sure to check the links in all the descriptions, because we're on Full 30 now, also with all the videos. So there's a link in the descriptions to Full 30, as well as, of course, our sponsors, SDI, budsgunshop.com, Federal Premium. So all the good information is there, as well as keep in mind that on Hickok 45 and Son, we have quite a few videos over there. John's doing the Gun Culture radio show over there. Check it out if you haven't done that yet. Our Facebook page, the Hickok 45 Facebook, the Hickok 45 and Son Facebook page. That's where we try to stay in touch with you and give you a little extra information. Even post pictures and a little video occasionally, just whatever. Mainly just a way to keep up with you all and provide some more information. We're not really Facebookers, but it's a pretty good system for that, even though most of us are not in love with Facebook, right? So check all that out, and you really had better check it out, because I might just have to come to your house and have a chat with you if you don't. And I expect to have coffee and donuts ready when I get there. All right.